Okay, so this is for discussion 6. I am student A, so my directive was to do the little I of the Pythagorean theorem of activity 26.1. The question says, can you create a square whose side length is a plus b using the four triangles and the square whose side length is c, real or imagined? And then what equation equates the area of the square side length a plus b to the sum of the areas of the four triangles and the square whose side length is c? That's a lot. So first I made my triangles. I made them different colors just because I thought it might be easier to determine what is what. So I have a side length of A of 4 for each one, and then I have a side length of B of 5 for each one. So the first part of this, can you create a square whose side length is A plus B? And I did that. So you can see on each side, so this side, for instance, I have the 5 here, which would be B plus A. Here I would have B plus A or A plus B. Here I have A plus B, and here I have A plus B. And then can you make a square whose side length is C, real or imagined? So each side length inside this square, if they were all stuck together, it would be C. So what equation equates the area of the square of side length A plus B to the sum of the areas of the four triangles in the square whose side length is C? So we know to find the area of a square, we know that it is side times side or side squared. So if we have a side that's A plus B and another side that's A plus B, that would be our area. So we would have A plus B squared, or A squared plus B squared. So then we would have so we have our A squared plus B squared. And then we know if our inside square, if this inside square here is C, again finding the area of the square, so to find the area of the square would be A squared plus B squared. And then the inside, would be C squared. So that gives us our Pythagorean theorem. The other item I was to discuss was one I know I don't have correct. It's driven me nuts. So I explained this in my activity, but I'll do it again. So if we have 10 gallons of 3% vinegar, how much 9% vinegar would we need to mix with the 3% vinegar to make a 5% mixture? This is probably exactly why I'm not a chemist. I've tried several things. I tried just making an equation and have it equal 5 because we want to know when we mix this plus this, will we get this? Didn't really have much success there. I came up with it 2.8 would be the amount of water we would need. But that doesn't make sense because, I don't know, maybe it does make sense. But we have this 10 gallons. So how much of the 9% vinegar would we need to mix with that? So the other thing I think about is, well, do we need to take some of the 3% out if we add the 9 and to stick with the 10? Like that part of it I'm not sure of either. So then I set up a system of equations where I had the 3% and gave it A plus the 9% B equals 0.05%. So, and then I set up my other equation where we have A plus B equals 10 if in fact when we add these two together we still want 10 gallons. That'd be the only reason that would make sense. Still didn't have much success, came up with a negative 2.9 even though, so it's not even close to this number. And when I substituted this number into the original equation, I got 0.5, so I wasn't close there either. So I'm hoping that my group can give me some feedback as to what they did, or maybe some of you can as well.